So hello, this is a short video about a left, center, right system that we're using for a drama production, a little theatrical production of Grease. So on this event we have two Midas consoles. It's a left, center, right system, and I quite like having a physical fader for each clip-on radio mic. So we've got 16 clip-on mics using Trantec, which are pretty good, and a couple of handhelds from the Sennheiser over here. So in total we've got 18 radio mics on this event, 16 clips and 2 handhelds. In addition to that, there are 3 rifles across the front of the stage, and on the second desk here we'll have 3 pit mics from the choir, and there's also going to be a couple of channels here for orchestra. There'll be bass drum, bass guitar, keyboards, that kind of thing. I don't know what it is yet because I haven't seen it. We had the first rehearsal and run through today, so I haven't seen the band. Also there's an electric piano. So I'm not using this as a stretch. It's not bust into this to give me extra channels. They're actually 2 completely separate PA systems. Let me explain that to you. The Midas 160 here will handle the pit mics and the band. It'll also take the keyboards and sound effects and my effects returns, my stereo reverb return and mono delay line. Now, the audio from this system is routed to a Dynacord Powermax, which we'll get a look at when we go up to the stage. So that gives me a stereo system with, you know, whatever, about 2 kilowatts. So I can, I can get the band to cook. That's really good. And because we got a separate EQ on the system here, I can EQ this specifically for the main system, for the Dynacord system. So this is taking the audio from this console here and processing it and sending it to the Dynacord Powermax. And the important point I'm making here is that this EQ is specifically for the Dynacord Powermax only. So this is a stereo PA system right here, which is handling the band, the pit mics and sound effects and stereo reverb and mono delay. So this is the stereo reverb, mono delay, and they are being fed with audio from this console here. So that's the band, and they're all on one fader there. So if I want less band, I can just turn it down. If I want more band, I can turn it up. And over here we've got all our microphone inputs. We've got 16 clip-on mics, 2 handhelds and 3 rifles. Now, this system is sending to a mono center hang, which I'm not sure if you can see, a little Dynacord VL-262, and the entire signal path from microphone to loudspeaker is entirely analog. There's no digital processing anywhere. It's entirely analog. Just to give myself an extra little bit of safety, I've put in a second hang, another VL-262, and that is delayed with a digital delay, which you can see here. So that second output there is firing the second VL-262 from the roof. So I've got a handheld mic here, so I'm just going to speak into the center. So it's channel 17 on the board, and I'm going to select that to groups 1 and 2. Got some compression here on those groups. There we go, groups 1 and 2, and that's sending into the VL-262. So that's my voice coming out of the center VL-262, which is a 90-degree box. So having it there in the center, I'm you know, I'm getting very good coverage of the space. Don't mind them up on the ladders there, that's just the lighting boys doing lighting boys things. Then the second one, wind some of that in.
Chris, I couldn't have done that without you, thank you.
I think that was Paul speaking of the rifles. So that's the second box up there, which is delayed back to the stage. I probably won't need to use it, but at least I have it there.
Well, the next one,
Just for security.
I was just going to sit over here. I had to hear that.
So we'll take that out, and we're back on the center VL-262. I've got auxiliary sounds as well, so I can dial in some fallback. Just like that, one mix. Second mix, 1, 2. So those are two monitor mixes, and I can also put this mic in the left and right, the Dynacord system, should I wish, but I don't. Then in terms of effects returns, if I open this mic here, so that's the center VL-262 that you're hearing, and if I unmute the reverb return, so that's sending to the Dynacord stacks, 1, 2. And as you can tell, what happens there is it thickens up the vocal incredibly, because with the VL-262 in the roof, what I've done is I've high passed that at 100 Hertz, and we've put a low pass around 10k or so. And this EQ here is specifically for that VL-262 flown on the roof. So what that means is that I can EQ this system specifically to get a great sound from those headset radio mics. Then approaching the stage, let's have a look up here, see what's going on. Oh, that's the analyzer there. Very handy device, great to use. Works a treat. So once again, two desks, two completely separate PA systems. Analogue multi, where's that? On the deck there. It's the Analogue multi. Oxygen-free copper all the way. There's the multi. And those are the Dynacord stacks. That noise you're hearing is actually the fan in the lamp. A couple of rifles. So again, the rifles are assigned into the center mono hang. A couple of choir mics here. These are assigned into the Dynacord stereo system. Of course, the great benefit of that is I can pan these mics over to the right-hand side if I have any feedback issues here by having them too close to the stack. Then if we have a look at Amp World here. So what we've got here is the Dynacord Powermax PM2600. That's running the main stacks. We also have a little digital 4-channel amp, very handy. I'm using that on foldback, and although it has 2 spare channels, I don't want to use them for the main PA because I'm staying on Class AB amplification for the entire system. So we're on a, where's it gone? There we are. A P1200 to run the front and back hangs of VL-262. Very, very simple, very straightforward. And if you're watching this and you think my idea is complete nonsense, well, good for you, because that's really what this business is about. It's about moving forward with different ideas and trying different things. And do remember this, people. Manufacturers manufacture products, and then they bring them to market, and they try and tell you they're going to be this, that, and the other, and they try and flog them to you. Well, as the song says, it ain't necessarily so. So, as you can see, we're using equipment here which is, it's not line array, Yes, we do have one digital amplifier, which I'm only using on monitors. And because the entire signal chain is analog from microphone to loudspeaker, it actually sounds fantastic. It's just a really warm, natural sound. And I'm looking forward to mixing grease on this all next week. So that's one of the monitor mixes there, little Dynacord box. That's the flown front box there. Let me just go up on the stage, just so you can see what it's seeing. Now, you could do a center hang here of line array. And yeah, of course I've done that before. But, you know, this is much better. I've got two separate PA systems. So it's good. That's your Dynacord over there. So whatever you're doing this weekend, whatever production you're working on, stay safe and don't be afraid to think outside the box. All the best from Noel.